Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds in the studio. Thank God it's Friday, so pretty action-packed day yesterday. Had the Sweet 16 getting in order, and then, of course, opening day across the country.
Well, it was indeed all but one game, two teams. The Tampa Bay Rays and Colorado Rockies open up today, and that's because of logistic problems. But the Final Four, or March to the Final Four, is taking some very interesting turns. It was all Alabama in the opener at Newark, New Jersey. Bama shot 52% from the field, and they have a freshman on the team named Mark Sears, and he hit 34 points, 11 of 18 shooting, but even more than that, Mike. Alabama shot 25 trays, and that's an all-time NCAA tournament record, 25 three-point shots, and win it 113-88 over Brigham Young. And you say, wait a minute now, they shot 25. How about that Loyola Marymount team from the early 90s that beat everybody? And sure enough, Loyola Marymount beat Michigan in a regulation game, 149-115, but they only had 21 in that game, so this one sets a record. Second game was perhaps the most physical contest I've seen, not just this year, but in many years. I thought the officials did a very poor job of trying to control the game in regards to the physicality of it. But nonetheless, Duke 100, Arizona 93, bodies all over the court, guys pushing each other. It was something else. So you have Duke versus Alabama. That comes up tomorrow. Out in San Francisco, the number one seed, Florida, rather easily over Maryland, 87-71. And in the second game, a heartbreaker for the Razorbacks. They had a 16-point lead over Texas Tech, let it get away. Game went into overtime, and Texas Tech won it in the overtime, 85-83. So the Razorbacks, who were seeded 10th, are now out of the competition. Texas Tech plays later on.
Man, oh man, oh man. My bracket is in pieces on the ground and on fire. Well, actually, it's in ashes now. Did you watch Silver's press conference yesterday?
I thought it was rather unique. I did see a little bit of it, and he alleges, he being Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner, that if they don't make some changes, then certainly the holiday that they call the All-Star Game is going to have to be changed. Well, come on. We've known that for years and years. The All-Star Game's a joke. No defense. There's no game. It's not competitive. So they do have to make changes in this, and they're missing the boat if they don't come up with an international series. It can be done in the NBA. We've suggested this in the past. I even wrote a letter to Adam Silver, didn't get any reply from it. But by the same token, they've got to change it, because that's a waste of time, and nobody watches. The ratings are terrible.
It's a sad state of affair when you got your commissioner up there doing a press conference, and you can almost see him complaining about the fact that other sports get better media coverage. Well, buddy, it's the product, and that's the issue right there in itself. All right, Missouri State had a great game against the Razorbacks. Got the win, but this weekend it's a divisional matchup, and those are the ones that count.
It is. The Bears are taking on the Belmont Bruins from Nashville. This is a Missouri Valley Conference game. In this, the last year for the Bears in the Missouri Valley. 3-game series begins tonight. They play again tomorrow afternoon, Sunday afternoon. Very big series. The Bears won their first series, beating Bradley, but folks, Bradley's not very good. Belmont is a whole lot better. This will be a nice little challenge, and we'll see if the Bears are riding the crest of a big win over the number 2 team in America.
So yesterday, obviously opening day for both the Cardinals and the Royals. I got a chance to listen to most of the Royals game while I was doing some yard work, and it was pretty exciting. Went extra, and then it just felt like the bullpen let them down.
It did. Kansas City tied a game with the Cleveland Guardians, tied it in the ninth to make it a 4-4 tie. A 1 run in the ninth inning that rescued the game. Into extra innings they went, and that's where the Guardians put it to the Royals. 7-4 was the final score. Well, you lose your opener. Of course, you don't want to lose any games, but the fact is there are 161 more games to go. Now, the Cardinals up in St. Louis won their game. They dumped the Minnesota Twins 5-3. 10 hits, Lars Nootbaar, and yes, Nolan Arenado all had home runs in this game. The fans are going wild. We're going to be there, guys. No, wait a minute. Sonny Gray was effective for the better part of 5 innings, but the Cardinals do get a win. Now, the Cardinals don't play today. They'll take this as the given day off in case it rains, and then they complete the series with the Twins on Saturday and Sunday. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't think the Cardinals are quite as bad as everybody thinks they're going to be, but they've got some talent, and they can play the game. We'll see how their pitching staff holds, how it remains intact through the rest of the year. It's a long, long, long way to go, and a lot of variances involved. But be that as it may, wins in the books, and they got it.
Yeah, good go Cardinals, and hopefully the Royals can do a little bit better today. A most unusual baseball record established yesterday, and what was that?
This one is absolutely wacko. Didn't even know it existed. First time in baseball history, in the history of the game, that a catcher, in this case Austin Wells of the New York Yankees, batting leadoff, hit a home run. The first catcher batting leadoff on opening day ever to hit a home run. What's rare is a catcher is very, very, very seldom the leadoff hitter in anybody's lineup, and he was for the Yankees, and he hits one out, and that is a new record. Wait, where did they come up with this stuff? Anyway, be that as it may, Austin Wells has his niche now in New York Yankees history.
Good on him. And one more question I wanted to ask you. Where are they doing the racing this weekend?
This is in Virginia this weekend. That's assuming the weather holds. They'll be in Martinsville, Virginia. This is a relatively short track for the NASCAR guys, but that doesn't matter. It's still a NASCAR Cup race, and the points do count. And we'll see who emerges on that one. They'll race about midway through Sunday afternoon. Always a good show at Martinsville, one of the traditional tracks in NASCAR lore.
Ned, you have a wonderful spring weekend watching a lot of basketball and a lot of baseball.